Hi friends, Shannon here. Welcome back to my channel. So today is going to be one of our first little creative videos under Root and Quill. Um, but it starts with a little bit of a story, some background before we get into what's in front of me here. Way back when I first moved into my own place, I would go through magazines and rip out pictures of things that inspired me, specifically home garden recipes. And I did that until Pinterest started. And we're talking many years between that and Pinterest. And I had file folders full of pictures. And I didn't know anything about glue books back then, or I would have glued them into a book. And over the years and over the many moves, those file folders disappeared, got left behind, probably got trashed. I don't know. I do think if I were to actually go out in the garage, I think there might still be a box with some file folders in it. But um, with the invention of Pinterest, I kind of turned my focus that way. But I still have always loved magazines. But gosh darn it, they're so expensive anymore. Once in a while you can come across a pretty good deal and get, like this one, I think I got a year. It comes out every other month, and I think I got the whole thing for like $12 on a special deal or something. Um, but I still love collecting magazines. But I don't want to hoard them. But I love going through them and pulling out pieces of inspiration. So, in trying to figure out how to, again, bring together things that I enjoy doing and making things a little bit more streamlined and not be a hoarder, which, if you're a creative, you understand. um, I want to bring those things together, and I want a place to keep all of the pieces of inspiration that I come across for the garden, notes that I want to make, maybe recipes, not quite sure, ideas. Really, really more garden centered, home centered, and the business side of Root and Quill, not really the writing side. I have places for those writing inspirations. It's not to say that I won't put anything, but let's get to it, shall we? That was a long kind of rabbit hole. Today, I'm going to start what I'm calling my Creative Commonplace book. My Root and Quill Creative Commonplace book. Okay? It's a place to collect all of those things and have them in one spot. Not a bunch of file folders that you have to flip through, but everything in one spot, doing something that I love, ripping pages out of magazines, doing something else that I love, gluing, collecting. Oh boy, it's going to be fun. So I have chosen an old book to begin my collection in. I love to do junk journals, and I contemplated, do I build a junk journal for this? And I thought, no, that to me would take too much time. And this is something that I want to get started on. As I'm sorting through my house, that beginning of year clean out, and I have a stack of magazines that I need to go through. I want a place to put them. So I went through my bookshelves, and the bookshelves that I have that are full of books I've collected, here we go, to turn into journals. So I chose this one. This is an old book. It's from like 1893. I did look it up, and it does have a tad bit of value to it, like between $10 and $30. But just on eBay alone, there were so many of these. So I don't feel bad using this. Why I chose it is because it is about almost perfectly the same size as a typical magazine. So for the bigger full pages that I tear out, they should fit in here nicely. I have not done any prep work. If you're familiar with altering books, you'll know that everybody will tell you you need to go in and you need to remove some pages or cut back your pages, glue pages together. These are pretty sturdy pages. This book is full of a lot of pictures, so I don't really want to get into removing them because they may become inspiration themselves. How I would love to find, an old chateau. I'm hooked on chateau renovation videos. I have been for years. Am I going to go to France? Most likely not. We don't have chateaus here in the States. So that's not to say that a future character wouldn't do that. So there are pictures in here that I might like to keep. So I'm not going to go through and remove pages, which means that this book is going to get very large, which is not good for the spine. However, as you can see, we're already having issues with it, which was another reason I chose it. I am choosing not to reinforce this until I have finished up this book. If it starts getting crazy, I may remove pages. We're just going to see how it goes. But for today, not removing pages. This is going to hold garden inspiration, maybe garden notes, hearth and home ideas, creative projects, really very full of inspiration. It's going to be messy. It's going to have layers. It's going to be used. It's going to be lived in. I am not doing this for the camera. I'm doing this for myself as a place to keep these things that I want I want to have and I kind of want to have on hand. So there we go. Let's get into it a little bit, shall we? Okay. I know it needs a title page, but I'm not sure what to do with a title page. And I feel like I maybe need to section this out with like garden. What I do have that I will be putting in here as well are like some soap recipes that I have that I've used that have been good. Those are ugly, so I will either rewrite them or copy them onto some kind of prettier paper. Maybe, oh, I know what I could do. I could do some tea-dyed paper and then print. Maybe that's what I'll do. I mean, I said it was going to be messy, but it doesn't need to be that messy. We do have some standards. So I just went and I grabbed a couple of the magazines that I have stacking up in the living room. And this one right there, that page, is probably going to go in my Christmas journal. Anyway. See, I just love that. Am I going to use that? Where would I use that? I don't know. A hee-haw pie. Food. I'm hungry. But I don't really want to put food in here. So maybe this was not a good one to start with. Probably the Christmas one was not the good one to start with because this goes in my Christmas book that I will share. I sporadically, maybe once every 3 or 4 months, will treat myself to one of these beautiful magazines. I have the Willow and Sage. I love In Her Garden. Oh, talk about inspiration. And that looks like my greenhouse right there. Let's start with that one. So this is December, January, February of 2026. So this is their winter garden one. So right there, I mean, I could take out probably just about every picture in here. But I want to find, and I don't want people. I don't want to look at her in her garden. This can also be inspiration for pictures that I might want to take in my garden, you know, for Instagram or Facebook or whatever. Oh my goodness. See, I could just sit here and get carried away. I love beautiful things like this. Oh my gosh. We're going to start right there with, ooh. We're going to start right here with this one, because this is something I am currently working on, is in front of my greenhouse and making it a beautiful walk up to it, approach, something like that. So we're just going to take this one, just like that, and we'll save that for something else, because that's a beautiful picture. Oh. Things to consider when adding a greenhouse. Okay, so we can take this and we're going to go in and we're just going to find a random page, and we'll say that maybe the first part of this book is greenhouse inspiration. And we'll do something like that. Oh, Tracy, I hope you're watching this. Look at me. Look at me with the pictures and the glue stick and a book. And I'm just going to stick that down like that. Make sure it's folded in the right spot. We're not going to be super precious. Again, it's a book I want to live in. It's a book I want to work in. To collect these things, to inspire ideas and see what comes of it. So we'll throw this down. Just like that. Now you might be wondering, what about these words that don't really go with it? I may come back and add more pictures in here. I mean, it's not like I don't have any to work with. I may be, oh, we're going to do this right here. See how easy that was? I didn't know I was missing this in my life until I started back with it. And just like that. I'm going to leave the word preface because I think that's kind of a good beginning. So I may come back And I'll cover these pages. I'll probably take this one out because it's kind of a shiny one. I'll leave these blank ones. They might become kind of an index at the end, but I'll take this guy out because I don't need him. But I'll save the tissue paper because that's what we do. I'll cover this one with something, and then we come right in to our beginning, really our beginning of the book with our words. Happy camper. My stomach is growling. I've got to get something to eat. If you can't see that because it's just not showing up, it says wild, rooted, and blooming. How perfect is that? I'm so excited. Okay, there's our start. I will come back and work in this with you, but I will work in it on my own too, and have that quiet time that is necessary, you know, to process everything. So when I do work in it by myself, I will occasionally come back and do flip throughs and show you what I've done. Now I have some blank space I can write if I want, like journal actually, make notes, add more pictures, or leave it blank. I'll come back in and add something here just because now that's kind of ugly. I do have a collection of washi tapes that would take care of that spot easily. I just don't have any out and handy right here at the moment. So there you go. The official Root and Quill Creative Commonplace book is started. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. I will catch up with you again soon. Until then, take care.